What's up, everybody? It is your friendly neighborhood T3 here. So, being as I am rapidly going to be getting my stuff back from California so I can resume my class schedule of online classes so I can have all my materials. But I decided I want to do a bit of a teaser series and do a kind of mini version of what one of the many parts of any of my webinars might be like. And today I'm going to choose stalking and movement. People ask all the time, how come when I go out into the woods, I don't see any animals, or I only see birds? Simple, you know. When most modern humans go into nature, they enter nature the way they do the coffee shop at that full bore city sprint, right? So nature moves slow. We need to first learn to listen to the baseline of the overall sound and movement around us and not move any faster or slower than that. We don't want to throw what are called concentric rings, which are disturbances that ripple out like a stone thrown into a glass clear pond. If I make a noise, that ripple ripples out, and birds and squirrels and everything pick up the alarm calls. So the first thing to do that's really important when stalking and movement is get out of the habit of walking like a bathroom door silhouette human with that very defined head and shoulders. That's a dead giveaway to animals that a human is present. That's why I'll often, put a hood up at least. And when I'm always stalking and moving, I'm always doing so on bent legs. Our legs are meant to act as shock absorbers. And the reason why a lot of modern humans have back problems and knee problems and ankle problems is because they're walking the wrong way with the wrong type of footwear and on concrete. I hate to tell you this, folks, but we are not designed to move on concrete. So if I could just give one tip at all to get more out of your time in nature, forgetting all the exercises and stalking steps I'll teach you throughout this mini 5-part series I'm working on. If I could give one hard, fast rule, it would be simply slow down. Move at, half the speed you usually move when you walk from your car to your office or are going and running errands, right? We are brought up in this fast-paced society, but nature doesn't move fast. Nature is slow and fluid. And slow and fluid movement can be tricky for a lot of people at first because there may be times where I'm stalking up on an animal, right? And I have to be on one leg for quite a while. They say, my dad says that 66 seconds per step, you can stalk up on an animal that is looking at you because most prey animals or animals that are fed on by other animals, their eyes are mainly designed for picking up quick movement. Think of like a raptor, landing on a mouse or a fox pouncing. So supposedly if you move that slow, they won't be able to detect your movement. But in order to move that slow, in order to cultivate slowness in general, there are tons of exercises we can work on. Now, if I'm going to be taking those super slow steps where even 20, 30 seconds between the time my foot leaves the ground to the time it makes contact, the first thing I need to learn is working on balance. Anytime I'm at the grocery store or in line somewhere, I often wait and I stand there on one foot and try to make sure my upper body remains completely still. I don't want to be doing this because in the woods, that's flagging animals that I'm here, but just practice being comfortable on one leg. Keep that knee bent, it'll be much easier. And then, switch to the other leg. And just stand there, put a little bend in your knees, take some deep breaths. And one really amazing thing that you get out of this exercise, especially if you do it indoors barefoot or outdoors when it's warm enough, is you can watch how much your feet bend and flex to compensate for little movements made in our upper body. Even standing both foot on the ground barefoot, you can take deep breaths and you can watch your foot muscles move and flex. So that is going to be your first homework assignment for this how to become better at stalking part 1 is going to be the one-legged. Work on starting with both feet on the ground, and then just work on as slowly and fluidly as you can, lifting that back foot off the ground and slowly bringing it forward. And then when you get to about this point where this leg is equal with this one, see if you can hold it. See how long you can hold it for without your body getting all wobbly. There's been many times where I've been stalking a deer and you get right up to almost take that shot. And just as you lift the leg off the ground, the deer looks right at you and you're standing like this. And trust me, you can only stand like this for so long. So the more you practice, the better you're going to be. Another key tenet to ancient or original movement, natural movement as I call it, is learning to remember how to use our legs as shock absorbers. Most people walk around on outstretched legs coming down with that heavy heel to toe footfall that is so damaging to our bodies. Our knees are shock absorbers. That's what they're designed for. So simply by dropping down a little bit, when you do this, you'll notice your thighs start to burn. And the next lesson in this series is going to be one of my favorites, called the Burning Four. And it is an exercise where if you do it daily, you will condition those leg muscles to be able to stalk with those bent legs and not have your thighs feel like a million candle-powered propane torches burning your thigh muscles. But yeah, so practice one-legged, practice holding your leg up high, being one-legged, low. As a general rule with stalking, I never take my foot higher off the ground than I absolutely have to. I don't, in a grassy area like this, I don't need to be Elmer Fudding as I stalk because there's nothing to step over. But if I'm stalking through brush and things like that, I may have to bring my foot up a little bit higher to get my foot into that clear space. But yeah, that one-legged practice is crucial. So first practice on your floors in your house, and then try to find some uneven ground and practice standing on uneven ground, both up and down hill and side hill as well. And you'll find it's pretty different. It's a pretty different feeling. But just like with anything else, as we learn to move and condition our bodies remember these ancient forms of movement. And then once we learn to read nature and listen to nature as a whole and the baseline, we will just automatically match our movements to it. And that's when the forest truly comes alive. So I hope you enjoyed this T3's patented how to be better at stalking and movement lesson number 1. Lesson number 2 will come tomorrow. Peace, love, joy, and purpose to you all. And don't forget, this Friday night is number 3 of my new YouTube live series where I read the works of my father, the great Tom Brown Jr. Oh, so yeah, watch out for mole holes and things. So yeah, work on that one leg balance. For our next lesson, I'm going to show you a really cool thing my friend has. It's a round disc that you balance on, and practicing on